Some lives are impossible to ignore. Some faces are instantly recognizable the moment they appear on screen, on billboards, or on social media feeds. But what if I told you that what you see is only a fraction of the truth? Behind the flashing cameras, screaming fans, and curated Instagram feeds lies a reality that few people ever glimpse, a world where celebrities' life double lives. The public persona, the one that is broadcast across television screens and online platforms, often hides a private life that is drastically different, sometimes darker, sometimes quieter, and sometimes more chaotic than anyone could imagine. It is easy to forget that these people, who seem larger than life, are still human, with struggles, fears, and secrets that never reach the public eye. Yet, the contrast between what is visible and what is hidden is so extreme that it becomes almost like watching two completely different people coexist within the same body. The first thing to understand about celebrity double lives is that this phenomenon is not accidental, it is cultivated. Celebrities are brands, carefully crafted images designed to appeal to fans, investors, and the media. Every tweet, every red carpet appearance, and every magazine cover is meticulously planned to reinforce a particular persona. Take a global pop star, for example, someone who sings about love, heartbreak, and empowerment. On stage, they exude confidence, charisma, and charm. Fans see a figure who is unstoppable, untouchable, and endlessly glamorous. But behind closed doors, the story is often entirely different. There are sleepless nights, anxiety about public perception, and personal struggles that could shatter that image if they ever surfaced. The gap between public and private life is where the real story begins and where human complexity is at its most fascinating. Some celebrities hide their personal relationships entirely. The public might believe that a star is single, happily married, or in a long-term relationship, but the reality is often far more complex. High-profile relationships are strategically displayed for media attention, boosting a celebrity's marketability. Other private relationships, however, are carefully concealed, shielded from the public to avoid scandal or distraction. It is not uncommon for a celebrity to maintain a secret life that includes family members, friends, or romantic partners who exist entirely outside of the public gaze. These hidden lives are carefully managed to maintain the perfect image, and the stakes are high. One leaked photograph, one unguarded comment, and suddenly the illusion could unravel. The psychological strain of maintaining this double life is enormous. Imagine having to perform happiness, confidence, or stability in front of millions of people while feeling entirely different internally. Some celebrities describe it as living in two separate realities, constantly switching between the roles demanded by public perception and the private needs of their personal life. Mental health struggles are common, yet rarely discussed publicly. Anxiety, depression, addiction, and identity crises often lie hidden behind the glitz and glamour, forming a parallel narrative that few people ever see. The public applauds the persona, unaware of the personal battles fought in silence. The irony is that the more famous someone becomes, the more difficult it is to live authentically. Fame can act like a cage, where every move is scrutinized, and the price of privacy becomes almost impossible to pay. Then there are celebrities who live double lives in a more extreme sense, engaging in behavior that directly contradicts their public image. Consider actors who play wholesome characters on screen but lead scandalous or secretive lives off camera, or musicians whose lyrics promote freedom and rebellion, but whose private lives are governed by strict rules and isolation. These contradictions are often fueled by the pressures of fame itself. When the world expects perfection, rebellion becomes a form of escape. Secret lives, sometimes involving forbidden relationships, hidden addictions, or even illegal activity, are often a response to the suffocating constraints of public expectation. This is not just about deception, it is about survival. Some celebrities admit to feeling trapped by the persona they have created, forced to maintain an illusion, even when it conflicts with their true desires or values. Social media has intensified this double life phenomenon. Platforms like Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok allow celebrities to curate an idealized version of themselves that fans consume daily. Every post is calculated, lighting filters, captions, and hashtags all combine to reinforce a particular image. But what social media cannot show is the private reality behind the camera. A glamorous vacation photo may mask hours of exhaustion, stress, or personal conflict. A viral smile may hide inner turmoil, grief, or insecurity. In this digital age, the divide between public and private life is not just a consequence of celebrity, it is amplified by it. Fans are often unaware that the life they envy is a carefully constructed illusion, a product designed to maintain relevance, desirability, and control. Even when celebrities are candid about their struggles, the truth is often sanitized. Interviews discussing mental health or personal hardships frequently focus on resilience and recovery, painting a narrative of triumph over adversity. While these stories are inspiring, they rarely capture the full complexity of living with the pressure of fame. The private lives of celebrities are messy, contradictory, and imperfect, but the public narrative must always remain digestible. There is a tension between authenticity and marketability, a constant negotiation between revealing vulnerability and maintaining power. This balancing act is exhausting and can lead to further complications behind the scenes. Some celebrities are experts at compartmentalization. They create strict boundaries between their public and private worlds, ensuring that no one overlaps the two. Houses may have private wings inaccessible even to staff. Phones, emails, and social media accounts are closely monitored. Bodyguards, personal assistants, and security teams help maintain separation. In extreme cases, family members or close friends may never meet fans or the media, and private social events are carefully curated to avoid exposure. This level of control allows celebrities to live relatively normal lives in secret, but it also fosters isolation. Relationships become transactional, friendships are tested, and trust becomes rare. Living a double life may protect their public image, but it can take a heavy emotional toll. And yet, some celebrities deliberately play with this duality, blurring the lines between their public and private personas for artistic or strategic reasons. Think of musicians who adopt stage personas that are wildly different from their private selves. These personas allow them to explore emotions, experiences, and identities that would be impossible in their real lives. Actors sometimes inhabit roles that reflect secret fantasies or darker aspects of their psyche. In these cases, the double life is not just a survival mechanism, it is a creative tool. It allows celebrities to channel aspects of themselves that cannot safely exist in their public world, creating a fascinating interplay between identity, performance, and personal truth. The impact of double lives also extends to legal and financial decisions. Some celebrities maintain secret bank accounts, property holdings, or investments to protect their wealth from public scrutiny, taxes, or litigation. Others may live multiple lives geographically, owning private residences across the world that remain hidden from media and fans. In these cases, secrecy is not just about image, it is a method of controlling power and security. The more famous someone becomes, the more they are targeted by paparazzi, journalists, and opportunists, making privacy a luxury that requires extraordinary measures. One of the most intriguing aspects of celebrity double lives is how often the public is unaware of the extent of the divide. Fans may assume that they know a celebrity based on social media, interviews, and appearances, but the reality is far more complicated. Celebrities often maintain multiple identities, simultaneously the public persona, the private self, and sometimes an inner self that exists only in solitude or in the presence of a few trusted confidants. This multiplicity is fascinating because it challenges our assumptions about fame, authenticity, and truth. It forces us to question whether anyone in the public eye can ever truly reveal who they are without consequences. Relationships within celebrity double lives are particularly complex. Romantic partners, family members, and close friends often live partially in the public world, partially in the private world. Some relationships are purely performative, maintained to reinforce a desired image, while others are intensely private, shielded from attention to preserve intimacy. Celebrities may develop entire social circles that the public never sees, allowing them to experience friendship, love, and connection outside of constant observation. Yet maintaining these boundaries is incredibly difficult, and breaches can have career-altering consequences. When private matters leak to the media, the results are often sensationalized, reshaping public perception instantly. The mental health consequences of living a double life cannot be overstated. Research into high high-profile individuals consistently shows elevated rates of anxiety, depression, and stress-related disorders among celebrities. The constant need to monitor behavior and maintain appearances and manage public perception is exhausting. Sleep deprivation, substance use, and stress-related illnesses are common. Living under perpetual observation amplifies ordinary pressures, turning every personal decision into a public event. For some celebrities, therapy, mindfulness practices, and trusted confidence are crucial tools for survival. Yet even these measures can only partially mitigate the strain of balancing public and private identities. The media plays a dual role in celebrity double lives. On one hand, it feeds the fascination that drives fame, helping to elevate and sustain a celebrity's public persona. On the other hand, it threatens exposure, creating anxiety and pressure to maintain secrecy. Paparazzi gossip columns and viral social media posts can transform a minor indiscretion into a global scandal. Celebrities must navigate this landscape carefully, cultivating positive coverage while avoiding negative attention. This dynamic makes every choice consequential, from fashion statements to public appearances, from statements about personal life to private actions that could leak online. It is a constant game of strategy, image management, and risk assessment. One of the most dramatic examples of celebrity double lives comes from the world of film and music scandals, where entire personas are revealed to be fabricated. Stories of actors maintaining multiple marriages, singers hiding substance abuse struggles, or entertainers living in secret poverty despite public wealth illustrate the extremes of this phenomenon. These revelations captivate the public because they challenge assumptions about fame, success, and truth. They remind us that what we see is often a fraction of reality, and that human complexity cannot be fully captured in headlines or social media posts. Yet double lives are not always about scandal. Some celebrities cultivate privacy for more benign reasons, seeking to shield family, personal hobbies, or day-to-day normalcy from public scrutiny. The desire to walk in a grocery store unnoticed, enjoy a simple meal, or spend time with loved ones without intrusion is a powerful motivator. Even the most glamorous and wealthy celebrities crave moments of anonymity and authenticity. The irony is that in building a life designed to be visible and admired, they must also engineer spaces of invisibility to survive emotionally and mentally. What is particularly fascinating is how these double lives shape celebrity culture itself. Fans and media consume narratives based on curated images, but the stories behind the scenes are often far more compelling. Secret lives, hidden struggles, and unseen triumphs create a tension between reality and perception that fuels obsession, speculation, and fascination. The more extreme the contrast, the more the public is captivated. In many ways, this fascination drives the entire entertainment industry, creating a cycle where private lives become a form of currency traded for attention, relevance, and influence. It is impossible to overstate the complexity of these lives. Celebrities operate in a world where the stakes are extraordinary and the margin for error is minimal. Every action, every word, every choice is amplified, analyzed, and judged. Privacy is a scarce commodity, and authenticity must be negotiated against the demands of public perception. In this context, the double life is not a luxury or an anomaly, it is a necessity. It is a survival strategy in a world where visibility is both a privilege and a burden, where admiration can be intoxicating and scrutiny devastating. So, the next time you see a smiling celebrity on a magazine cover or a perfectly curated post on social media, pause for a moment. Consider the unseen world that exists behind the image, the life that is hidden from view, the struggles, secrets, and contradictions that cannot be captured by cameras or captions. What we see is only the surface, a carefully constructed persona designed to entertain, inspire, and engage. But beneath that surface lies a private life that is often as dramatic, complex, and compelling as anything portrayed on screen. The duality of public and private existence is not just a quirk of fame, it is a defining feature of celebrity culture itself. And for those living it, the stakes are incredibly high. Living a double life is a balancing act between survival and visibility, authenticity and illusion, connection and isolation. It is a life of contradiction where freedom and constraint exist simultaneously. It is a world where identity is performed, curated, and constantly negotiated. And it is a reality that reminds us of one undeniable truth: celebrities, despite their wealth, glamour, and fame, are human. They face struggles, make mistakes, and navigate pressures that are often incomprehensible to the average person. Yet their lives captivate us precisely because of this tension. The impossible balancing act of living for the public while surviving in private.